Hi. This instructional video is about finding the surface area. Finding the surface area of prisms. Prisms, as you know, are basically a polygon that is in three-dimensional form. So not only has it length and the width, but the height as well. Now, if I were to build one of these, for example, number one, what appears to be a scale model of a building or a giant French fry or butter stick, whatever you want to call it. If I went to one of those home centers and bought a plywood, how many plywood panels will I need to build this thing? So to illustrate that, let me draw you what I'm talking about. Check this out. So here we have what appears to be a rectangular prism. It's called rectangular prism because the base, the bottom portion of which this is standing, is actually rectangle. So if I were to separate that into different pieces, it would look like this. Check this out. Okay. So can you see that? Can you see all the pieces that's necessary to build this whole piece into one prism? Yeah, you can see that there's front, then the back side, which you couldn't see on this one. Then you have what's on the right, and then the left side, which you couldn't see. And of course, here's the top right there. But the bottom part in which it's sitting on is the one you cannot see. So in fact, there are 6 polygons necessary to build this three-dimensional form, the prism that is. So we have to find the area of each one of these panels. There are 6 of them, and add them all together to determine the total surface area. The total area, total amount of plywood we'll need to build this thing. So here we go. First, the rectangle. Can you see that if I were to separate this piece out in a two-dimensional form, it's simply 2 millimeters by the width, or in the height in this case, is 7 millimeters. So the area of that one piece is length times width. So it is 2 meters times 7 meters. So the total area of that one panel is 14 meters square. However, can you see that that's the front and the back side, which you don't see, is identical? So in fact, we need 2 of those. So we're going to take that number and multiply by 2, because there's 2 sides of those. So that becomes total area needed to build this is 28 meters square. Now, we also need the right side and the left side panel. So, in that case, the height is the same. It's still 7 meters. I'm sorry, that's millimeter square. That's a millimeter square. There it is. Okay, so this time, however, if you look at that, it's not 2. The length is not 2. In fact, it's 3 millimeters by the same 7 millimeters. So the area is length times width. So that's 3 millimeters times 7 millimeters. So that's 3 times 7, that's 21 millimeters squared. And how many of those do we have? Well, we have the right side and the left side. So times 2 for that guy as well. So the total area for left and right comes out to be 42 millimeters square. Are we done? No, we need the top and the bottom. So can you see that if I took that top and put it flat on the table and look down on it, that in fact it's a rectangle. And this measurement over here is the same as the base of this rectangle over there. So that's 2 millimeters. But this width is going to be the base of this one, which is 3. So the area for this guy, length times width, is 2 millimeters times 3 millimeters. So the area for the rectangle, the small one, top and bottom, is going to become 6 millimeters squared. But we have two of them, top and bottom. So multiply by 2. So the total area needed for top and bottom is going to be 12 millimeters squared. So what do we do with these three areas? We add them. So 28 plus 42 is 70. 70 plus 12 is 82. So the area total is 82 millimeter squared material we need to build this guy. Why don't you try figuring this one out? All right. So number 2. The biggest part over here, the major part, appears to be a square because the length of it is 8 and the width of it, indicated by the height here, is also 8. So let me draw the smaller version of that to save space. So the front and the back is 8 meters by 8 meters. Therefore, the area for the front and back, the front, just front itself, is length times width. Therefore, 8 meters times 8 meters. So it's going to be 8 and 8 is 64 meters square. However, that's just the front. So if we include the back times 2, total area for front and back combined is going to be 128 meters squared. So that's good. Now the sides. Can you see that it's going to be rectangular? Kind of skinny-like? So kind of like this. And the base of that, or the length of that, is right there. So that's 6. However, the width is the same height as this square over here. So it's going to be 8. So this particular one on the right side is going to be area equals length times width. So that's going to be 6 meters times 8 meters. That's going to be 6 times 8 is 48 meters squared. However, once again, just like if there's a right, there's a left. There's two sides to that. So we're going to times 2. So the total of left and right combined becomes 90, whew, close, 96 meters squared. So there it is for the left and right. And finally, the top and bottom. If you were to look down on it, this way, you could tell that it's going to be a rectangle this way. And the length of it is right there, which is 8. And the width right there is going to be the 6. Of course, obviously, it's not drawn to scale here. So the area for the top is length times width. So area equals 8 meters times 6 meters. So 8 times 6 is 48 meters squared. Hey, that's just like this guy over here. That's kind of cool. Wait a minute, does that mean there were like 1, 2, 3, 4, the sides were all the same? No, I could have saved some time. Anyway, times 2 to finish it up. So area equals 96 meters squared. So what do I do with these two areas and these two areas and these two areas? I add them all together for a total surface area. So we go 128 plus 96 plus 96. The total surface area for this guy is going to be 320 meters squared. There it is. Yeah.